Monster Melee Beholder versus Adult White Dragon Rematch.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Monster Melee. Actually, welcome to another rematch. We are hearkening back to the very first Monster Melee battle ever, the Beholder versus the Adult White Dragon. I really felt like the dragon was going to crush the Beholder, but I think fortune really favored the Beholder in that fight. So I've been itching for a rematch between these two, and I'm glad to bring it to you here today. Once again, the battle map that we are using is the Moss Valley Caverns, one of the biggest maps I've ever done, maybe the biggest map I've ever done. It is available on my Patreon, that is Esper the Bard on patreon.com. Check it out, there's a lot of cool free content I do every month, maps, newsletters, etc. There's also exclusive content for supporters, and more than anything, it supports the channel and crazy endeavors like this one. So appreciate everyone who is a supporter there. And I am your game master and commentator, Esper. Let's take a look at today's contestants and then jump into this battle. Beholder is a large aberration, has the lawful evil alignment, challenge rating of 13, armor class 18, 180 hit points. No ground speed, but it's never on the ground. It has a fly speed of 120 feet with hover, by the way. So that means if it gets restrained, knocked unconscious, etc., it doesn't fall to the ground. It doesn't have to like keep flapping wings to keep itself physically aloft. There's some kind of magical effect where it's like buoyant that keeps it always aloft. Its main strengths are its eye rays. It's 10 magical eye rays that have a host of different debilitating magical effects, or some of them do damage. It has legendary actions, which gives it additional eye ray firings. One thing I do find weird in 5th edition is that all of the Beholder's eye rays are randomized. I can understand the legendary action ones being randomized. I think that's cool, but it can't ever control its main action eye rays. I find that quite bizarre. Then it's got that central eye, which is like this massive cone of anti-magic. I don't think that's gonna really come into play in this fight. As far as weaknesses go, it's quite slow, just a 20-foot flying speed. It's not gonna cover much ground with that or much air with that. It's pretty weak physically. It doesn't really have good physical saves in melee combat. It is quite under par. Then the Adult White Dragon. This is a huge dragon, chaotic evil in alignment, also challenge rating 13, also AC 18, 200 hit points, has a land speed of 40 feet, a burrowing speed of 30 feet, a flying speed of 80, and a swimming speed of 40. Some people last time I did this match asked why it didn't burrow. Well, you can't just burrow through solid rock. Think about it. It's rock. You can't go through hard, solid material. You have to go through granular material. Sand, snow, dirt, etc. So that's not really coming into play in this cave. There are some creatures that do have the trait called Tunneler, like the Umber Hulk, where they can actually rip and tunnel through solid stone, but that's not what's going on here. As a dragon, it has a lot of different strengths. It has a really powerful breath attack, in this case a cold breath, which I will remember is a con save, not a dex save against the cold. Very powerful in melee combat, has legendary actions, has 3 sweet legendary resistances, which it's really going to rely upon to overcome and save itself from the Beholder's eye rays. And as we just saw, it's a very mobile creature overall. It does have kind of some weaknesses. Its intelligence is not good for a dragon. Its charisma also is a bit on the low side for a dragon. I'm not really going to bother with the spells because it would just have one spell. I'd like to keep the fight like it was in the original. And as we've seen with other dragons, it has no ranged attack. It has the cone of cold breath that has like an AoE effect, but it doesn't have a reliable at-will ranged attack roll. So let's get into initiative. I'm eager to see this fight. The tactics are going to be similar as they were before. The dragon really wants to get up close because the Beholder's weak and slow in melee. Blast with its breath as much as it can and just go to town with claws and bites and tail slaps. And the Beholder is going to hope to burn through the dragon's legendary resistances quickly and then debilitate it with its magical eye rays. Here comes the initiative roll, and looks like the Beholder is getting to go first once again. So it's going to start off with eye rays. It does these randomly. Roll a d10. The first of the 3 is number 4. That is the slowing ray. Dragon has a +5 dex save, and 10 is not going to do it. It is slowed down. That means its speed is reduced to half. It cannot take reactions, and on its turn it can take either an action or a bonus action, but not both. I don't think it has any bonus actions, and this has ongoing saves at the end of each of the dragon's turns. Okay, so it's slowed. Here comes the next eye ray from the Beholder. 5 is the Innervation Ray, a necrotic damage sort of tether trying to drain and sap the energy from the dragon. So it's going to do a con save, which it's quite good at. It has like a plus 11. Nat 5 plus 11 is 16. That is exactly the DC of the Beholder's Eye Rays. And then the third and final of the Eye Rays, 2, is the Paralyzing Ray, which is a con save. Again, that's the dragon's best save. Oh! All right, that's a really low roll, so that's a failure. The dragon will spend a legendary resistance because it does not want to be paralyzed. All right, 2 legendary resistances remain, and the Beholder is going to hover back just a little bit here. It can't really cover very much space. Okay, we go to the White Dragon's legendary action. That slowing effect does not affect legendary actions, which are such cool things. So actually it can use wing attack. So there's nothing for it to like buff it and batter with its wings, but that does propel it half its speed, halved again due to slow. So it's just going to cover 20 feet through the air. All right, then on to the dragon's actual turn. It will fly 40 feet and get onto this ledge area and then unleash the devastating cold breath. Looking at 52 damage, Beholder makes a Constitution saving throw, which is not very good, has just a +4. That's a 9, will fail and take 52 damage. The Beholder goes down to 128, and then it will use a legendary action for an Eye Ray. There's a Paralysis Ray once again, all right. White Dragon, got a +11, 18, that's good enough. The dragon will repeat the save against the slow effect. Dexterity, a little bit odd having Dexterity as an ongoing save, but whatever. That succeeds, and the slow effect is gone. On to the Beholder's turn. Let's do the volley of 3 Eye Rays. First is a Petrification Ray, which is actually a Dexterity saving throw. The dragon evades that ray. Here comes the next one. That's sleep, right? We got a wisdom saving throw for the sleep. Nat 18 +6 easily saves. And the third and last ray. There's a slowing ray once again, which really isn't the worst effect. And the dragon's not going to get too upset about it, but it rolls Nat 15. That's good enough to evade the slowing effect. Is the Beholder in range of the dragon's reach attacks? I think it's in range of the tail. I think that tail has like a 15-foot reach. It sure does. There's not really a great move for the Beholder to take in terms of moving somewhere because it doesn't want to provoke an attack from the dragon's tail. It's got a 15-foot reach. And like there are some places where this dragon couldn't fly, wouldn't have room for its wingspan, but not really happening in this exact arrangement. So we're going to go to the legendary action of the dragon, which is going to be a tail attack. And here we go. 16 is a miss. The Beholder evades. Go to the dragon's turn. Gonna do a recharge roll, see if we can get the cold breath back. Looking on a 5, looking for a 5 through 6 on D6. There it is. Oh my. He unleashes cold breath right then and there. 50 cold damage. See if the Beholder can succeed on a con save. And the con save is a 17. Not enough. It's a DC of 19. The Beholder has taken 50 more points of damage. It's down to 78. And the dragon will close with it, get within full threat of all of its natural weapons. Beholder's legendary action, Eye Ray. 4, that is the slowing ray once again. Probably not the one that I'd hoped for. But we'll see what happens here. Not good enough. The dragon will get slowed once again. It'll take that. And on to the Beholder's turn. It's in a really, really bad spot here, but it's hoping for the best with these 3 Eye Ray volley. 3, there is the Fear Ray. Dragon's gonna make a wisdom save. It's got like a +6. 15 is just under what it needed. Will the dragon take the fear effect? I don't know. It's a pretty haughty and proud dragon. It doesn't want to be frightened by a mere floating head. It'll go for it. It'll burn a legendary resistance. In the third and final of the Eye Rays, we're looking at Innervation. A tether of necromantic energy. A strand of inky darkness. Ooh, nat 1 for the dragon. So that's going to be a failure. I think it'll just take the damage. This is just pure damage. 8d8 necrotic. So what? There's 34. Dragon still has 166 hit points. Beholder is going to do a bit of movement. Dragon cannot make opportunity attacks from the slow effect that it's currently under. The dragon doesn't really have a legendary action it can use here. The Beholder's obviously out of range for the 15-foot tail. Wing attack, the Beholder's not in range to get buffeted, and the dragon can't really fly right there. There's just not enough room for the wingspan of a huge-sized dragon in this little opening to the next cave chamber. So that's in the Beholder's favor. We'll go to the dragon's turn. It will move along. Half its speed gets it to there on the ground. It can probably do a bit of flying like through these areas if need be. And can't forget the recharge roll on the breath. That's not recharging. So it's going to go for a multi-attack routine here. Starts off with a frightful presence. Beholder's making a wisdom save. That's probably one of its better saves. It's got a +7. Yep. It is not frightened of the dragon, but it will be hurt by it because it's about to do like a bite and 2 claws. Here we go. Bite, claw, claw. 19 and a critical hit on that last claw. This might be destroying the Beholder right here. Got the bite damage, the claw damage, and then I will put in a critical hit claw. All right, there's the crits damage. So we're looking at a total of 18, 28, 45. All right, Beholder's still alive at 33. Pretty rough spot to be in. The dragon will repeat its dexterity saving throw to try to get rid of the slowing effect. Nat 4 is not going to do it. Still slowed, and we go to the Beholder's legendary action. Randomized eye ray, hoping for a winner. Number 10, that's the death ray. Dexterity save for the white dragon. It's got a +5. 22 will do it. Is that a half damage on a success? No damage at all. So the dragon just evades this ray. It passes right by its head. It ducks and snarls and wants to bite, but we still have the Beholder's full-on turn. You would think that slowing array would give it disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. That's what the actual slow spell does, but it's not listed under the effect on the Beholder's stat block, so I'm a little puzzled by that. I think it's a bit of an oversight on the designer's behalf. That should have been in there, and that combos with its really good rays like Disintegration and Death. All right, Beholder, on to your actual turn. First ray. 9, Disintegration. Speak of the devil. The dragon rolls. Got like a 19, I believe, total. Yep, avoids the Disintegration ray altogether. A bit of rock gets disintegrated into fine dust right there by the dragon's wing. It evades, yet again, something terrible. The second eye ray is Fear. Dragon rolls. Got like a +5, +6 actually. 25 will certainly succeed. And the third and final eye ray, hoping for something incredible. Sleep. Sleep could be incredible, though it still has 1 legendary resistance. It fails the sleep. Okay, so that burns the final legendary resistance, but with the Beholder this damaged, I don't know what it can hope for. Is there anywhere that it can go? It can just hover 20 feet, a measly 20 feet. Even a dash would have only got it to there. That wouldn't have done anything. Gosh, the Beholder is just so slow. So it just goes to there. And I don't see how the Beholder can pull this off now. I guess it could do a wing beat here. I think it could jostle itself, buffet itself forward a tick, and then goes on to its turn. Recharge roll. I think it doesn't really matter whether it's a breath or a full attack would do it. It got the breath. Goodbye, Beholder. It was nice knowing you. 58 cold damage. Beholder makes... 58 cold damage. Beholder makes its con save. Got a 19. That's the success, right? That's exactly what it needed. 29 damage. It holds on with 4 hit points left. It's still in there. The dragon's repeated dex save at the end of its turn. Nat 20 gets rid of the slow. Beholder's legendary action. It's got a 5. That is the Innervation Ray. Not what it was hoping for. Dragon's going to roll a con save, a mighty con save, 17. I think this is half damage. Okay, yeah, this one is half damage. The strand of necromantic energy saps it for 19 damage. The dragon still has 147 hit points. Going into the Beholder's turn now. Okay, the Beholder still has a slight chance. It's not quite dead. It's just got this sliver of hit points left. It is freaking out of its mind. It's already out of its mind. So, all right, 9 is the Disintegration Ray. The Beholder is desperate. Disintegration rate is a dex save for the dragon. Comes up with only a 14. Not good enough. The disintegration is technically force damage. There's 51 to the dragon. It still has 96. I don't see how the Beholder is going to be able to kill it with hit point damage just in this one turn. So it's really hoping for something that debilitates it. Innervation. Oh no. Con save for the dragon. Oh yeah, that's a total success. It's going to take half damage. Yay for these randomized eye rays. 22 damage brings the dragon down to 74. I don't know if the Beholder can even have a chance at killing it. I guess if it hits with that death rate and rolls high, it can potentially do enough damage to kill the dragon. It has to roll quite high though. And it's the slowing ray against the dragon, not what the Beholder wanted to see. Even if it's a slow, not even a slow, the dragon evades it. So goodbye, Beholder. The dragon will use a legendary action to do a tail hit. 18, exactly what it needs, and minimum damage is enough to kill it. The tail crushes the side of the Beholder and just absolutely dents it and caves it in. The dragon falls upon it, rips the thing apart with its teeth and its claws.
Disgusting.
And the dragon gives a mighty roar of draconic victory. Well done, White Dragon. That was a pretty intense battle. There was even a moment there where I thought maybe the Beholder was going to come back. That would have been pretty epic. This was fun. I enjoyed this rematch. I got a couple other rematches that I'm really wanting to do, plus some other new Monster Melees, plus some other kinds of videos that aren't Monster Melee. So you'll just have to look out for those coming in the immediate to near future. I want to say an extra special thank you to everyone who is one of my supporters over on Patreon. You all really make a big difference in making this channel everything that it is. So a bardic bow of gratitude goes out to you all. Wishing you all the best, everyone. Until next time, may your adventures be many.